Hello everyone, how are you all doing? I hope all of you are doing great. So in this video, we are going to talk about hard link and soft links in Linux. What is the difference between hard links and soft links? How hard link is different than the normal copied files, and how to create hard link and soft links. We'll also see each of the topics here in coming slide, and also we'll see hands-on on hard links and soft links. So without any further ado, let's get started. So, what are hard links and soft links? So, hard link is effectively an identical replica of the file. Therefore, the hard link and the actual file will both have the same inode. So, what is inode now? So, a inode is a data structure that stores information about a file. Okay. So, if you want to know more about the inode, you can check out my video on inode by clicking on the I button here. So a soft link, also known as a symbolic link, basically it's a shortcut or pointer to a file. Like we have a file shortcut feature in Windows. It's not an exact replica of the file, but rather a pointer to the original file. The inode values of a soft link and the source file is different. Also, you will not be able to access the contents of the soft link if you remove the actual file. But in case of hard link, even if you remove the source files, you can access the content of the hard links. So here you can see in this diagram, I have the data on disk. Okay. So if you see here soft links, so soft link is basically a pointer to the original file. Okay. And that original file is having the data stored on the disk. Okay. Now, if you see here, if I remove this original file content, I will not be able to get the actual data stored in the original file. That's why it is like I said in the last slide that if you remove the original file, you will not be able to get the data. You will not be able to access the contents of the source file because that is basically soft link is a pointer or shortcut to the original file. So you cannot get the data here. But if you see here in case of hard links, it's the exact replica or copy of the original file. Both are pointing to the same location or same data on the disk. So even if I remove the original file here, I can get the data from the disk because it's directly pointing to the data on the disk. So I can get the data here. So this is the like main difference here. So you can think of a soft link as a pointer to the original file, but hard link as an exact copy or replica of the file. Now we will see the difference between soft link and hard link. So a soft link basically can cross the file system, allows you to link between directories, has different inode number and file permissions than the original file. Permissions will not be updated, has only the path of the original file, not the contents, as we saw in the last slide. Hard link basically it can't cross the file system boundary. Like hard link can only work on the same file system where you are working. Cannot link directories. Has the same inode number and the permissions as the original file. Permissions will be updated if we change the permission of the source file, and has the actual contents of the original file, so that you can still view the contents even if you even if the original file is removed. As just now we saw in the last slide. Even if you remove the original file, you can still get the data from the disk because it's an exact copy or it's pointing to the data on the disk. Okay. Now, what's the difference between hard link and the normal copied file? Okay. So when you copy a file, it will just duplicate the content. Okay. So if you modify the content of one file, it has no effect on the other one. But if you create a hard link to a file, any changes you are doing in the source file or in either of the files, in the source file or the hard links, your changes will be seen on both. That means both the files, source and the hard link, synchronizes. We'll see the hands-on on this part, okay, in the next slide, like after the next slide. Now, how to create hard links and soft links. So to create a hard link, this is the syntax you can create. Ln source file name, what's your source file name, and then the hard link file name. So by using this command, you can create a hard link. And for to create a soft link, basically, you need to pass ln -s source file name and then the soft link file name. Uh, by using this command, you can create a soft link. Now we're gonna see the hands-on on hard links and soft links. That means how we can create a hard link and soft link, and how the hard link is different than the normal copied files. We'll see the hands-on for this one. So here I am in my terminal window, and if you see here, I have two files called file1.txt and file2.txt. So we're gonna create hard links and soft links for these files. Okay. So let me just first create the hard link for file1.txt. So I'm just going to pass the file name here, and I'm going to keep the hard link file name as hard link itself. Okay. So if you see here, I have already created this hard link for this file1.txt, and if you see the inode number for these files, so here you can see file1.txt, it has the inode number as A1842411, and the hard link I have created for file1.txt, it is also having the same inode number as 1842411. Okay, let us just see the content of file1.txt. Okay, and here you can see like this is the file for hard link. Similarly, if you see the content for hard link, it's the same, like the same content for this uh, same content as the file one. So as we discussed in the last slide, that hard link and then the source file will both have the same contents. That means hard link is the exact replica of the source file. Now what we will do, we'll remove the file1.txt and we'll see like whether we can access the content of the hard link or not. Okay, so let me just remove this file, file1.txt. Okay, so if you see here, I have removed this file. Now let me just check the content of the hard link. So I can see like I can still access the content of the hard link even if the source file has been deleted. Okay, now what we will do, we'll create the soft link of the file too. So let me just create ln-s uh, file2.txt, and we'll give the soft link as name soft link. Okay, so if you see here, I have created this soft link for file2, and if you see the inode number, okay, so you can see the file2.txt has the inode number as 1842452, and the soft link has inode number as 1842808. Okay, so as you discussed in the last slide, correct? The when you create a soft link, so the source file and then the soft link file both will have the different inode number. Okay, now let's just see the content of the file2.txt and the soft link file. Okay, so here you can see the content of the file2.txt. Now let's see the content of the soft link file. Yeah, so you can see like both the uh, source file and then the soft link file has the same content. So here the soft link is basically the pointer or shortcut to a file basically. So if you remove the source file, you cannot access the content of the soft link. So let us just check that. So what I will do, I'm just going to delete this file, file2.txt. Okay, okay, I have deleted this file. Now I don't have that file. Now I will try to access this soft link file. You can see here like no such file or directory. That means soft link is basically pointer to a original file where the source data is present or the data is stored. So if you remove the source file, you cannot access the content of the file by using soft link. But in case of hard link, you can access the content of the file even if you have deleted the source file, because it's exact replica or copy of the file. You'll see the difference between the hard link and the normal copied files. So here I have a file called A. So if you see the content of this file, you can see the content here, like this is for difference between hard link and normal copied files. Let me just create a hard link for this file called A. So hard link, I will create this hard link for this file, hard link A. Okay, so I have already created this hard link. So if you see the inode number for both the file called A and hard link file, you can see it's the same 1843277. Okay, so as I said, like it's the copy, like it's the exact replica of the source file. So you can see the content will be the same. So if I display the content of the both the file, you can see it's the exact same. Now what I will do, I'm gonna change the content of the source file and see whether what is the content of the hard link file. Okay, So what I'm going to append this new line called new line uh, to this file A. Okay. So if I see the content of this file A, I can see the new line got appended. Now let us see the content of the hard link file. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, I have only changed in the source file, but the change has been made to the hard link file also, because both the source and hard link, they point to the same inode where the data is stored. So here you can see both the content got synchronized. Now what I am gonna do, I am gonna copy this file, and then I will change the content of the source file and see like whether it is getting reflected in the copied file or not. So let me just copy this file called A to B. Okay, so here I can see the content of the this is the copied file. So here you can see this is the content. Now what I will do, I'm going to change in the source file. So I'm just going to add another line, echo another line, and I'm going to append to the source file. So if you see the content of the source file, you can see another line got appended. Now what we'll see, we'll check whether the copied file got updated or not. Okay, so if I check the copied file, I can see that new line, whatever I have appended to the source file now, it didn't get here. We have added the new line to the source file, so you can see like it got appended, but in the copied file, like the B file, which is the copied file for A, here I can see the new line is not added here. Okay, so as I said, like when you normal copy a file, so whatever changes you are doing to the source file, that changes will not be updated or synchronized to the copied file. But when you create a hard link for the source file, whatever changes you are doing, whether in the source file or in the hard link file, that will be updated in both the files. That means it will be synchronized. Okay, uh, so if you see the hard link file here, that I have added the new line here, it will be getting updated. Here you can see it got updated. Now let me just add another line to this hard link file and check whether the source file got updated or not. Okay, so I'm just going to add this one to hard link file. Okay, and if I see the content of this file, I can see like one got appended here. Now let me just check the source file content. Here I can see. Here I can see this one also got appended to the source file. So in case of a hard link, whatever changes we are doing, it will be updated in both the places. That means source file and then the hard link file. That means it will get synchronized. But in case of normal copied file, if you are doing any kind of changes, whether in a source file or in a normal copied file, their changes will not be updated in both the files. That means they will not be synchronized. That's all for this video. I will see you all in my next video. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy.